There was a study done that said 78% of homeowners struggled with home affordability. Guys, in today's video, I'm gonna bust some myths, cover some misconceptions about the cost of buying a home, specifically here in Colorado. By the end of the video, you're going to know everything you need to know about the cost of buying a home. And oh, by the way, if you see this amazing house behind me, I'm gonna tour it with you and show you exactly what this house would cost in terms of monthly payment. So stay to the end. Let's do this. Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the channel. My name is Patrick Lorienti. I've been a licensed agent here in Denver, Colorado for the last 10 years. And in this channel, we're going to cover everything you need to know about buying, selling, and investing in real estate. And don't forget, my contact information is down below. I am the one who's answering the calls, jumping on the Zoom, and responding to your emails. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's dive into the cost of buying a home here in Colorado. There was a study that Bankrate did saying 78% of homeowners say affordability is a challenge. It's not a surprise to me, but the question I come up with is how many of the 78% actually know what the cost is to buy a home? Now, I'm not talking the monthly payment to purchase a home, but how much cash do you need? What are some of the hidden costs? What are some of the misconceptions at play that may be stopping you from purchasing your dream home? Now, look, I think a lot of the problem is people see, especially in the markets of late, higher rates. As soon as they see a higher rate, they don't even progress forward in figuring out how much it would cost them to buy a home. They just automatically assume it's going to be too much money. But the thing about rates is they don't actually matter. What I mean by that is what's most important is what does that equate to from a monthly payment standpoint? Don't let the sticker shock of a high rate scare you from looking into purchasing a home, because you still might be able to find the perfect home at the perfect monthly payment. The other problem I see is that for those of you looking to purchase a home, whether you're relocating to Denver from out of state, maybe you live here, you have a home to sell and you want to buy a new home, but your interest rate is so low because of 2020 and 2021, whatever the case may be, you're probably scrolling on and searching for homes on Zillow. And the problem with that is when you're on Zillow, they will generally have a payment calculator. And so you're seeing this $600,000, $800,000 home, it looks amazing, and you're trying to figure out, will this actually work? Will we be able to achieve a monthly payment that's going to work for us? And what's the actual cost of purchasing that home? Now you may not be consciously asking that question, but in the back of your head, those are some of the things that you're considering when you're seeing these amazing homes. And so how do we go from seeing these amazing homes to figuring out what they actually cost and whether or not it would be doable to move into one of those homes? Now, I know Zillow has the mortgage calculator that shows you an estimated monthly payment. The problem with that calculator is they're estimating insurance, HOA, sometimes taxes, and other parameters that don't actually give you a realistic monthly payment for that house. What we're going to explore here shortly is going to fix that problem for you so that not only do you know how much cash you need to buy that house, but also how you can go in as close as possible to the actual monthly payment so you can figure out what it actually costs to buy these homes that you're seeing on Zillow every day as you do your home search. So now this is the time in the video where you get your pen and paper, and I'm gonna list out all of the cost of purchasing a home. And by the end, I want you to get out your calculator, find that perfect house on Zillow, to not only break down the cost of buying that home, but also be able to build that calculator so the end result, you know exactly what you're getting into if you purchase this perfect home that you're looking at. Now, here's my disclaimer. You're never going to get an exact number unless you are qualified with a lender. And so those of you further on in the process of purchasing a home, please feel free to reach out to me. I have incredible lending partners, all of which take an educational approach. They're very well experienced and will be able to get you actual numbers almost down to an exact amount so that you know exactly what you're looking into in purchasing the home. So for those of you active, reach out. My contact information is down below. But in this video, we'll at least get close enough so you can really start to build some reality around these goals you have of purchasing a home here in Colorado. So first things first, we're gonna break down what a monthly payment is. Now, even you homeowners, you might think you know this, but we're going to get down in detail and cover some things that you might not have expected, especially when purchasing a home here in Colorado. If you haven't got your notebook, if you haven't got a paper and a pencil, pause the video, come back, and let's dive in. The first thing you need to understand about the monthly payment of a home is you're going to have four things. You're going to have what's called PITI. Now, what that stands for is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And believe it or not, those are typically actually easier to find than you may think, especially if you've watched this video. So the first one, principal, that's the actual price of the house. So if you see a $700,000 house, that would be considered the principal of your payment. And if you're getting a 30-year fixed loan, they're going to break that principal out into 30 years. That will give you the principal part of your payment. But there's still three other factors that make up your monthly payment. The next one is going to be interest. We all know what interest rates, we all know what interest is. That's the bank's way of getting their money. So now you have principal, you have interest, that's the bank's money. And how the bank works is they're actually going to front load your interest because of course the bank's always going to get their money first. So your interest payment will be higher than your principal payment in the early stages of your loan. The next one is going to be taxes. Now, if you're searching on Zillow or really any search site, scroll down further into that page and find the annual taxes for the most recent year. That is going to be the third aspect of your monthly payment, and they're going to take that annual tax amount and divide it by 12 to get the monthly payment for the property taxes. The last piece to your monthly payment is going to be insurance. Now, for those of you who don't know, Colorado, as of the last couple of years, has grown to be one of the most expensive states for insurance premiums. I've had clients relocate here to Colorado and they were a bit shocked with how much insurance actually was when compared to the state they were previously living in. And so you really, really want to make sure that whatever estimate Zillow has, you go in and change that. Now, there's no exact amount that I can give you in terms of how much insurance is, but here are a couple pointers. First off, you can contact an insurance agent, but if you want quick numbers, maybe a better route is to Google what the average insurance premium is for a $600,000 house in Colorado or a $1 million house in Colorado. I will tell you from experience, over the last couple of transactions in the past 30 days, a $600,000 house is roughly going to be about $4,000 a year in annual insurance premium. Now, the tricky part about these insurance premiums, it could vary by neighborhood, by type of house, whether you had a new roof or an old roof, and so there's so many different factors that you can't get an exact number, but if you Google, it should give you a close enough number to use in your calculator. And guys, those are the four things that make up your monthly payment. The fifth one that most people don't consider is going to be an HOA. Now, generally speaking, a lender won't include that HOA payment in your monthly payment. And so please be cognizant of when a lender gives you a monthly payment to add in the HOA amount or ask the lender if these numbers include the HOA. And for those of you who are passively looking, using that Zillow calculator, and make sure you put the HOA payment in that calculation so it gives you the exact monthly payment for the house you're looking for. Now that we've covered monthly payment, what does it actually cost from a cash perspective to purchase a house. Guys, I could do a video for an hour on these topics, but I'm just gonna give you the pieces of information you need to know to get a fairly accurate estimate of what it's going to cost you to purchase a home here in Colorado. Again, as a reminder, if you want exact numbers, you're more actively searching to purchase a home, reach out, we'll get you connected with my lending partner and get you accurate estimates on all of the houses that you're looking at so you can really start to put the puzzle pieces together. Now, next up, we're gonna talk about down payment, closing costs, and some of the hidden costs that you might not expect when purchasing a home. First off, down payment, very quick and easy. There's two traditional loan types when purchasing a home. There's your FHA loan and your conventional loan. For FHA, the minimum down is 3.5%. So if you take the $700,000 house, times that by 3.5%, and that is your down payment. Conventional has products that are 3%, 5%, but your general rule of thumb is to calculate 5% down on a conventional loan. Now you might not know this, but here in Colorado, they have what's called county loan limits. And so depending on what county you're in, they are going to have a loan limit to where if you are over that threshold, you can no longer do an FHA or conventional loan. In most counties throughout the Denver metro area, you're going to be about that $800,000 price point to where any loan amount over that is likely going to fall on what's called a jumbo loan. And jumbo loans are going to require anywhere from 10 to 15+% down. So that's your down payment. Next up is going to be closing costs. The quick and simple way of doing this is, generally speaking, closing costs are going to be about $7,000 to $12,000, give or take, on each specific property. Now, closing costs are going to be accumulation of loan fees. That's the fee for the lender to actually process and finance the home. Title fees for the title company to transfer and get you the title of the property. And then you're going to pay off things like HOA, tax escrow, interest escrow, and other miscellaneous fees. Your tax escrow, because it's a part of your monthly payment, generally they're going to require roughly about 3 months of your tax payment up front. And so to give you an example, that's what they're collecting in terms of closing costs. Generally speaking, they're about $7,000 to $12,000, and depending on the purchase price of your home, will go up. And most of that is because a $1 million house is going to have higher taxes than a $500,000 house. And so as you go up in price, your closing costs will rise with it. But generally speaking, anywhere from about $500,000 to $800,000, closing costs will be about 7 to 12. If you're $1 million plus, those can reach anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 plus. Your down payment and your closing costs are going to be the cash you need to bring to the closing table. Now, there's ways we can negotiate the seller to pay your closing costs. There's down payment assistance programs. If you're purchasing a new build, a lot of times they'll have incentives to pay your closing costs for you. And so please make sure you have a high-level professional guiding you through this process to save you the most amount of money possible. So now we've covered monthly payment, what a monthly payment consists of, what down payment you can expect, and how much closing costs are. But here's the fees no one typically talks about. It's inspection, it's the cost of appraisal, and then all the things you don't think about, which includes moving, food for the first week as you're settling in, boxes to pack up. Those are all things that I want you to start thinking about before purchasing a house. Now, as far as inspection goes, inspection's typically going to cost you anywhere from $700 all the way up to $1,200. Now, again, as you get a bigger house that's going to be at a higher price point, those inspection fees can increase, and they will. If you're in the $1 million plus price point, you can expect to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 plus on inspections. But in general, if you're at the median home price here in the Denver metro, which of recent was $650,000 to $750,000, you can expect around $700 to $1,200 for your inspection. Now, as far as the appraisal goes, rough ballpark is going to be about $600 to $800. Now, both of those costs are going to be paid out of your pocket before you get to the closing table, which is important to note because your down payment and closing costs won't be due until you actually close on the home. And then as far as moving costs, pizza for the first week, boxes, paint, you think about upgrades you want to do to the new house, those are things to just put in the back of your mind. And as you're going through the thought process of purchasing a home, make sure you have money for all the things you're going to need in order to complete the move, make the house your own, and still have some money in reserves so that you're set up for success just in case something happens down the road. Ultimately, I don't want you house poor. I want you to be set up for success, and that's why we're going through these numbers to educate you and ultimately set you up for success. Now, with that, guys, we've covered most all of the fees. I'm gonna give you one last one, and then we're gonna head out of here, go do a home tour, and break down exactly what the cost of the house is going to be from a monthly payment standpoint. If you're enjoying the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Your bonus fee, something that a lot of people don't expect, is what's called earnest money. Think of a security deposit for rental. That's earnest money for a real estate transaction. Earnest money is typically 1% of the purchase price, and that is due and that's generally due 3 days upon going under contract. So let's say you purchase $1 million house, that's $10,000 in earnest money. The title company will hold those funds, and when you close, they'll refund those, and it will go towards a credit, and it will be credited towards your down payment and closing cost. So at the end of the day, that money comes back to you, but it is a cost that you will need to be prepared for upon going under contract. Guys, super stoked for you to see the house and then also in real time know what this type of house is going to cost you from a monthly payment standpoint. It's time for a home tour. I'm here at one of my favorite builders of all time. It's Meritage Homes. They build all throughout the state of Colorado. It's likely that wherever you're looking, they have a new home community close by. So here's a bonus tip. If you are looking for a new build home, first off, look at more than one builder because they all have a different style. They all have different finishes, floor plans, etc. And a lot of times you can fall in love with the first one, but it's not until you go see all three of them where you know which one actually fits your needs. And make sure to stop by Meritage. I found that they build homes in a bit of a different way than most builders. I love their finishes. Their price point seems to be aggressive and competitive, especially compared to the other houses in the market. And they do a really, really good job at maximizing space. Not to mention the process after going under contract with Meritage seems to always be so smooth. Guys, there's a reason they're my favorite builder. So make sure to look at that. And without further ado, let's go check this out. So we're gonna be walking into the Waterton model. Waterton model is personally one of my favorites. I almost bought one of these. You're gonna love the space. Now the Waterton model is 2,600 square feet. You've got 4 beds in 3 baths. This particular model doesn't have a basement. In this neighborhood, if you were doing a basement, generally you're gonna be high 500s to low 600s, but it's still got a ton of room. As you'll see as we go throughout this home tour. I'm gonna turn this around. So you're not here to see me, you're here to see the house. So this is right when you first walk in. You've got a study and office here. Maybe you do a barn door, but as you can see, doors here, walk into this entry. I would use that personally as a playroom because we have kids. If we didn't have a basement, we would definitely do a playroom there for the kids. That way they can do their thing, maybe watch their shows while we're here in the living room, hanging out, being adults. But as you can see here, the video might not give you the exact feel for this space, but it's super big. Like the family room is expansive. You're gonna have a ton of space there, a ton of space for your dining table here. And then you've got obviously your countertop and kitchen space. And then one of the things I love about this floor plan is you've got pantry here. And guys, this isn't just like a little pantry. This thing's huge. Now you could probably even add shelves here or even go further. And then right next to it, you've got the mudroom coming straight in from the garage. Add some benches, cabinets, coat racks there. I've seen people do amazing things. But this is it. Now here's one of the things I love about Meritage. You've got generally quartz countertops here. You've got this stainless steel appliance package. You've got a gas stove, which is typically not standard for builders. They're doing this cabinet hardware along with this nice backsplash here. Guys, the level of finishes in Meritage is just different for their base models when compared to some of the other local builders. Now let's walk upstairs. Now again, price point on this one is gonna be $549,000. Now one of the great things about using new builds, and Meritage is great at this, is they have fantastic incentives. I don't know the exact incentive on this one, but most of the homes I've seen in Meritage recently were doing about a $30,000 lending incentive. So you're gonna be able to pay down your rate, maybe some closing costs, and really set you up for success in terms of the loan here. So this is the primary bedroom. Super big, obviously got the window there, tons of lighting, and then you have the ceiling fan hookup there. As you go into the primary bedroom, double sinks, toilet, shower. Look at the closet space. I'm telling you, they do a great job with space here. This is important. I just bought a house. Having extra space like that is so underrated, yet so important. Huge closet. I mean, guys, this closet, it's hard to do it justice with a camera, but this closet's huge. And then you've got a ton of space in the bathroom. So that's just primary. You've got a loft up here, another playroom, living area, sitting room. So not only do you have the living room, the family room downstairs, but you've got a loft area and then the work and study downstairs, whether that's hybrid work from home office space, a kid's playroom. You guys have options here. And then you have the 3 bedrooms. And it's not those small bedrooms where you can barely fit a bed in there. These rooms are great in size. They all got decent sized closets. And then, I don't come with the house, but there's me. Double sinks, separate door to the shower and toilet. So that way if one person's showering, you can still come in here, get ready for the morning, etc. They're just so thoughtful in the way they design these. And then you got the laundry room up here as well. With, yet again, a ton of space. You can have cabinets, counter space, etc. here. And it's just steps away from yet another closet. So guys, you see, like you can see why I love these homes. They're just well designed, great finishes. One of the things, let's go back into the primary real quick. Let me show you. One of the things here, look at the shower. It's actual real tile. It's real tile. It's things like that you probably miss if I wasn't here with you. But a lot of builders will skip on quartz countertops. They'll just put them in the kitchen, but not here. They won't do real tile in the shower. They'll just do a pan. Meritage does things differently. Now, this house, again, $549,000. I'm gonna give you one last quick walk around. We'll go to the backyard. And this time I'm actually gonna show you, I'm gonna share with you the numbers of this home. The price for this property is $550,000. If we put a down payment of 5%, that's $27,500. At today's rate at 5.875%, you have a total estimated payment of $3,983 a month. Now, please know this is a very rough estimate, and this will change based on your credit, based on the rate at the time you're getting a mortgage, and your debt to income. So while this gives you a rough idea of how much a monthly payment is for a $550,000 house, you will need to make sure that you run numbers based on your criteria your credit and your financial situation. What are some costs you didn't expect when purchasing your home? Put those down in the comments. And for those of you guys looking to connect with me and maybe my lending partner so that we can get you a clear outlook on what it's going to cost you to buy a home, feel free to reach out. Contact information is down below, and I can't wait to connect. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you on the next one.